It was 476 AD. The greatest empire the world had ever built was taking its last breath. For 800 years, Rome had been eternal. Its legions had never been defeated. Its walls had never been breached. Its name alone had made kings tremble. But tonight, a barbarian king would walk through the gates of Rome, and the world would never be the same again. Tonight, we go back to that night, to that city, to the moment the ancient world ended. Settle in. Close your eyes. Let the past carry you gently into the night. Take a slow breath. Imagine a city unlike anything the world had ever seen. Rome. At the height of its power, Rome was not just a city. It was the center of the entire world. 1 million people lived within its walls. Its roads stretched from Scotland to Persia. Its aqueducts carried fresh water to every corner of the empire. Its Colosseum roared with the voices of 50,000 spectators. Its forums gleamed with marble, carved by the greatest artists who had ever lived. To be Roman was to be at the top of the entire human world. But power always carries the seeds of its own destruction, and Rome had been planting those seeds for a very long time. Let your body sink deeper now. Feel the weight leaving your shoulders, your arms growing heavy, your breath slow and steady. The fall of Rome did not happen overnight. It was not one battle, not one betrayal, not one moment. It was a slow unraveling, like a great tapestry, pulled apart one thread at a time. For 200 years, Rome had been weakening. Emperors rose and fell like seasons. In one single century, Rome had over 50 different emperors. Most of them died violently. The economy crumbled. The currency lost its value. Taxes rose so high that farmers abandoned their land. The great legions that had once conquered the known world grew thin and underpaid. And beyond the borders of the empire, the barbarian tribes were growing stronger. The Visigoths, the Vandals, the Huns, names that once made Rome laugh with contempt. Now they made Rome tremble. Let your eyes grow heavier now. The city of Rome sleeps. The streets are quiet. The torches burn low. In the cold autumn dark, the year was 410 AD. For the first time in 800 years, Rome was sacked. The Visigoths, under their king Alaric, poured through the gates like a river through a broken dam. For 3 days they looted the eternal city. The people of Rome could not believe it. This was Rome, the city the gods themselves had founded, the city that had stood for 1,000 years. How could this be happening? But it was only the beginning. Breathe slowly now, in and out. Let the story carry you like a river in the dark. The decades that followed were a slow and painful twilight. One by one, the provinces of the empire fell away. Britain was abandoned. Gaul was lost. Spain was overrun. The emperors who remained were shadows of the men who had once ruled the world. Young men, weak men, men who had inherited an empire that was already dying. And then came the final chapter, the year 476 AD. The last emperor of Rome was a young boy named Romulus Augustulus. The name Romulus, the same name as the legendary founder of Rome, as if history itself was writing a final cruel joke. Romulus Augustulus was 16 years old. He had not chosen to be emperor. He had been placed on the throne by his father, a general who wanted power but did not want the title. And now a barbarian warlord named Odoacer stood at the gates of Rome with an army behind him. His demands were simple. Step down. The boy emperor looked out from his palace in Ravenna. He had no army to call, no generals willing to fight, no allies left in a dying empire. And so Romulus Augustulus did something no Roman emperor had ever done. He surrendered, quietly, without a battle, without a speech, without the dramatic end that 800 years of history seemed to deserve. He simply signed the document placed before him and walked away. Odoacer sent him into exile, to a comfortable villa on the coast. He even gave him a pension. The last emperor of Rome spent the rest of his life in peaceful obscurity, growing old by the sea, while the world he had inherited faded into history. And so it ended, not with a great battle, not with heroes dying on the walls, but with a 16-year-old boy signing a piece of paper. Rome had not been destroyed. It had simply run out of the will to continue. The legions had forgotten what they fought for. The people had forgotten what it meant to be Roman. The empire had grown too large, too complicated, too heavy for anyone to carry, and it set itself down. History has always been this way. The greatest empires do not fall from the outside. They hollow out from within, until one day there is nothing left to defend. Let that thought drift slowly through your mind now, like a leaf on still water. The roads of Rome still exist. You can walk on them today. The aqueducts still stand. The Colosseum still rises above the city of Rome. 800 years of greatness does not disappear completely. It just transforms into legend, into memory, into the very foundations of the world we live in today. The language you are hearing right now carries the echoes of Latin within it. The laws of your country trace their roots back to Roman law. The calendar you use every day was reformed by Julius Caesar himself. Rome never truly died. It just changed its form. The candles of the eternal city have long burned low. The Forum stands silent now, and the last emperor of Rome is just a whisper. In the dust of history, you have traveled far tonight, through ancient streets, through marble halls, through the slow and magnificent twilight of the greatest empire the world has ever known. Now, let the journey end here. Let your thoughts grow soft. Let your breath slow. Let the past fade gently into the dark. Sleep well. The calm historian will be here when the night comes again.